This is a short little video for you to be able to learn how to get onto Big Blue Button in our JetNet system. So I'm assuming everybody knows how to get into JetNet, and this is what you'll see at the top of the class. Now note, in your class, it's going to be a little bit different if you're in the 7-week course, because this top value up here will equal out to I-50, not I-2. But other than that, basically should look the same at the beginning. Now, if you scroll down the page, you're going to get to a section of the JetNet page that says live sessions of the course. This is where all the Big Blue Button stuff is located. There is a tutorial page, which is linked in the materials underneath the schedule. And then there are 2 buttons you see on this page. Now, if you're in the 7-week course, there'll actually be 3 buttons. The third one will say SI sessions, and that's where our SI, Abigail Frew, is going to be running her sessions out of. What you're interested in for the live sessions when you guys are talking to me is this guy here. One says live session for the class. Now the other one, virtual study room, that's one that I've given everybody moderator access to. So if you guys want to get together as a group and talk about something, complain about me as a professor, stuff like that, anybody can start a session within the virtual study room and get one going. The live sessions, those are linked to only I can start them, so they're only appearing at certain times. And when they appear, what will happen, you'll get this page when you click on that link. Now this is your standard live session header. Note this is for previous class, so the times are a little different on this one, and I'll update that on your guys' setup. You'll note down near the bottom there is a button that says join session. So if you're close to time, it usually opens up about I think 15 minutes is usually what I set, 10 to 15 minutes before I start. It'll become active, and then, or once I start the session, it'll become active. But if you don't see that button, I'm either not there and I haven't started the session, or it's at the wrong day or time and you need to check your schedule. But if you see this button, that means the session's active. You click on that button, and that's going to bring you to this. So this is a pop-up that's going to come on at the beginning of every Big Blue Button session. It's going to ask you how you want to get into the system. Do you want to only have your headphones working, or do you also want to have your microphone working? Now, sometimes it's nice to have the microphone working so that you can ask questions. You can interrupt me in the middle of it and ask questions if something's unclear. If you don't ever want to use a microphone, just click listen only, which would be the headphones. If you do turn on the microphone, please be sure and mute your microphone unless you want to ask a question, because if you don't, we'll get a lot of feedback from your microphone and it'll sound scratchy to everybody else who's listening. But once you click the listen only tab or the microphone tab, either one, that'll take you to the main instance of Big Blue Button. Now there's 4 main sections that I want to deal with here, right? The first one's the big guy here, the biggest section, the biggest frame. That's where the materials are going to be. That's where if I say share my screen, or I put up a PowerPoint or anything like that, it's going to show up there. If I happen to do a polling question, it's going to show up there. All right. Next section is the next pane over. This is the chat. So if you want to ask a question, you just type it in at the bottom, send message in public chat. Type it in, send it, goes to everybody, right? If you want to talk to somebody in specific, you can DM them. All you got to do is, I think, @ and their name in front of it. Not really sure how it works. I haven't done it a lot, right? So that's another thing. Now, the last section for materials are over here. This guy on the far left is where all the participants in the session appear by their names. Now you'll note there's a couple of little funky icons around my main icon. So my main icon, which says JO, which is just John, right? It has a little blue one in the upper left. That means I'm the presenter. That's what it has, the little monitor up there. That means I've got control of the board. I can present it. I can give that to anybody else if, we were doing something where I wanted to, have somebody else present in the class. It doesn't happen a lot in this class, but occasionally it does. You'll also note the green icon shows that I entered as listen only because it's just a pair of headphones. If I also entered with my microphone, there would be a little microphone there. And as the presenter, I can also grant or deny access to microphones whenever I want. All right. You can also click on your icon to have other little things show up like thumbs up or hands up or something like that. The easiest way to get a question to me is through the public chat, because as I'm presenting, I'm always looking over at the chat to make sure if something pops up. Now, inevitably, there's always the lag between typing and something showing up, so I might have to backtrack a bit. The last thing I want to show you guys on here are the icons down here at the bottom. Now, you won't have access to most of these icons because these are for presenting view, so it's like sharing screen and turning my video on and stuff like that. The camera is obviously the video. You can or cannot share your video. You don't have to. I tend not to, not because I'm trying to hide from you guys, but more from the fact that video takes a lot of bandwidth, and I know some of you guys are hard up on the bandwidth, so I don't want to exceed what you might be able to do. The headphones just allows you to mute or turn on the audio in the room. So if you want to turn it off for a second, you hit that, it mutes your headphones. And then if you entered with a microphone, there'll also be a microphone icon, which you can mute your microphone or turn on your microphone. And that's all you need to know to get onto Big Blue Button. I hope this helps you guys so we can have a successful start to the semester.